Hey guys, Cal here, and today I'm standing here with the 2024 Chevy Silverado Duramax ZR2, and if the Ford Raptor's 3.5-liter turbocharged V6 just isn't your thing, or maybe you don't like the Nissan GTR exhaust note that it makes, I myself do, but it's not everybody's cup of tea, perhaps the Duramax ZR2 will be your cup of tea, and today we're going to take a look at it. So starting out on the front end of your Silverado ZR2 here, you will see that you do have the same headlight setup that every other Silverado has. You have your daytime running light right here that also doubles as your turning signal. You also do have your LED headlights up here, and then inside within the housing, it is a dark housing within the headlight itself, so they kind of dress it up like that. And then on the front of the grille here, you do have a blacked out chrome right here. That is what we've seen on the Chevy Blazer RS in the past, and I believe to the present, and your ZR2 logo is going to be on your driver's side of the grille. And then you also do have these really cool LED lights that run into the grille right here to give it that extra stance at nighttime and let people know that this is the most off-road oriented Silverado. And then right in the middle of the grille here, you'll see that it does have a hollow Chevy symbol, which I thought was really neat compared to some of the other Silverados where it's just a solid Chevy logo. This has a hollow Chevy logo, I suppose, to not only look cool but allow some more airflow. And then in your grille here, it is a gloss black painted grille, just like the bumper itself. And then you have these red tow hooks down here, these red gloss painted tow hooks that really pop on it. And what I like about the design of these tow hooks is they kind of stick out more than a traditional tow hook, so they're kind of asking you to actually put these to use. And then also down below, of course, because this is the off-road minded Silverado, you have a beautiful skid plate down below. It's almost so pretty that you wouldn't even want to go off-road and scratch it up. And then down below, you do have your LED fog lights as well. The whole front end of this truck is so handsome. And then to top it all off, right on the hood up here, you do have your Duramax logo to let everybody know that there is a big tough engine under the hood of your truck. And here we are under the hood of the Duramax ZR2, and you will see the 3-liter turbocharged Duramax diesel that's putting out 305 horsepower and 495 pound-foot of torque. Now the Ford Raptor, the 3.5-liter V6 that's in that, puts out 450 horsepower and 510 pound-foot of torque, so quite a gap in horsepower between this and the base model Raptor, but that torque on this being only 15 pound-foot of torque less than what is in the Raptor is pretty incredible. And I think a lot of you guys would agree with me that the torque on a diesel, even though those numbers are close on paper, I think that behind the wheel, the torque on a diesel, you really just get that rush, that meat and potatoes feeling that you just don't get out of a gas engine. And taking a look at the tires up here, not only do you have this really cool notch in the bumper that makes for easier off-roading, and of course right down here you have the little plug for your block warmer for the wintertime right there. And then you also have these really nice looking, really angular, just tough 18-inch painted gloss black wheels, and they are wrapped in these 33-inch tires. Now on the Raptor, the minimum tire size is a 35-inch tire, so this is just a little bit smaller than the Raptor, but these are the Goodyear Territory mud terrains, and they are a really, really good looking aggressive tire on this, and I think they really fit the character of this truck well. Moving down the side of the Silverado ZR2 here, you will see that this very beautiful paint color here, it kind of reminds me of the Nardo gray on the Audis. It's just a touch darker. This is the slate gray metallic. I think it looks really good on this truck. I think it dresses it up well. On the mirrors here, which are power folding by the way, you will see that it does have a gloss black painted mirror cap as well as some LED lights on the front of the mirror to help light up the trail. And then on the back side of the mirror, of course, you do have the blind zone alert as standard, and then also as standard on the Silverado ZR2 here is these cameras under the mirror, because this does come with the HD surround vision as standard as well. And on your ZR2, just like the Trail Boss, you do have these black door handles. Now Chevy did this back in 2020 or 2021, and I'm dying for them to bring it back, but I don't think it'll ever happen, is they only have the passive entry on the front 2 door handles only. They don't have it on all 4 anymore. Your window surround up here is just black. There's no chrome because I don't really think it would fit the style of this truck, so they just left that window surround as black. Coming back to the fuel door here, you'll open that up. You will see your little filler for the diesel fuel as well as your DEF fluid. ultra low sulfur diesel fuel only. Obviously, please do not go putting 87 in your Duramax ZR2. And then down here, you will see that not only on the front wheel well, but also in the back wheel well here, they are giving you some very high quality carpeted wheel well liners. And this is one thing that Raptor owners have been complaining about and having to go out and buy their own. So it is very nice to see on the ZR2 here that you do have your wheel well liners, not only in the front, but also in the back here as well. And of course, since this is an off-road minded truck, we can't leave the side without talking about some of the stats. It has a 31.8 degree approach angle in the front and a 23.4 degree departure angle in the rear. And that it also has 10.7 inches of ground clearance, which I think if I get down into push-up position here, I don't know if I'm actually willing to try this, but I think if I stay just like this, I think the truck might actually go over me. That's how high this truck is off the ground. This ground clearance is incredible. Coming around to the back side of the Silverado ZR2, we'll go ahead and pop the tailgate here. And you will see, of course, we do have our corner steps, so it's very nice and handy to have that. Now, for the ZR2 setup right now, the only setup they're offering is a crew cab short box setup, so that's what this is. This bed is about 5 foot 10 inches long, and of course, one of my favorite features about Chevy's beds is the fact that we do have the 12 standard tie downs back here, so it makes tying things down an absolute breeze. Of course, you do have your lights in the bed back here, so if you have a tonneau cover over this, you'll still be able to turn those on at night and actually be able to see what is in the bed. You got your cargo lights up here, and then you do have your rear view cameras up here as well, because this does have, I think it's like a $1,900 option for the digital rear view mirror, where you flick that switch and it turns into a digital rear view mirror for you. So that's really cool. That's what that little camera is up here in the brake light. Then you do have a power sliding rear window as well, and a very high quality factory spray and bed liner that does come standard with the ZR2 here. And then in the back end as well, this black painted bumper is actually steel, believe it or not. So you knock on that and you can hear it. It is made of steel, and it does have these little backup sensors within the bumper as well, aside from your backup camera. So this thing is going to be really easy to back in and out of parking spots. And I thought, since we were back here, we could also talk about the towing capacity. This has a towing capacity of 8,700 pounds for the conventional trailer. So that is a bit higher than the 8,000 pound towing capacity that is on the Raptor. I'm pretty sure it is 8,000 pounds on the Raptor. So if you want to go off-roading on the weekends but still be able to tow a pretty good sized trailer, the ZR2 Duramax is going to be a pretty good option for you. And back seat space in the ZR2, like any other crew cab truck, is pretty big back here. I'll go ahead and hop up in, and you can see, obviously, sitting behind myself, I have absolutely no problem at all. Like, you could use this as like a living room. Like, this is actually a huge back seat. And what I really like about the back seat here is all the little touches with the leather they've done. You have this really cool material up top that is sort of like, I don't know what I would call it, like a snakeskin vinyl or leather up top, which just looks really cool. And then right below that is like a digitalized, just kind of plastic carbon fiber look to it. And then right below that is a tan vinyl right there on that inlay, as well as on the armrest here. I really like the accents of the yellow stitching that they've done around the whole truck as well. It just kind of gives it a very sporty, kind of speedboat look in here. We see a continuation of that black chrome that we saw on the front grille and the speaker inlay in here, believe it or not. And then there is also a massive door pocket back here for storage. And I like that they have left the underside of the seat mostly hollow instead of fully closed off like they do have in the Canyon and the Colorado. And then folding these seats back down, you do have these really cool doors that you can open and put storage into. I mean, you can put screwdrivers in there, wrenches, whatever you want to toss in there. Of course, in the center, there's a little drop down so the kids can have a space for their slushies in the middle. And then also there is this really neat inlay on the seats here that just looks very industrial and very tough. And I will say that this leather or vinyl, whatever you want to call this, it is a very good quality. All the same materials that were run through the door are run on here, so it's a very cohesive interior. And I love the use of the yellow stitching not only on the doors but on the seats as well, because it gives it such a sporty, unique look in here. And yellow stitching isn't something that we see in pickup trucks a whole lot, so it's cool to see. All right, guys, here we are behind the wheel of the ZR2 here. Now, before we hit the road, if you guys noticed earlier in my little show around of the interior, there is actually a sport mode. So the engine is good and warm. I've had it running a while, so no concerns there. We're gonna go ahead and put it into sport mode. We're gonna leave it in two-wheel drive, and we're gonna go ahead and get out onto the road here. And pretty much just from a slow roll, we're gonna see. Oh, let's go. Whoa! Wow! Oh my God! Wow, that's a really good pickup. It's such a solid feeling when you're accelerating in this. It's just that meat and potatoes feel that you want in a truck. There's just so much torque that it never seems to end. It's just that feeling that having a diesel engine you really can't replace. You just simply can't replace it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my quick look at the Silverado Duramax ZR2. Now, to wrap up my thoughts on the two, should you buy the ZR2 Duramax or should you buy the Raptor? If you want a truck that's a sports car and you want that sporty, just big personality out on the street, but you also want that off-road prowess of having that amount of suspension travel and just having a truck that can absolutely go anywhere, personally, I would go with the Raptor. If you're kind of looking to cross two lines, like having a sports car and having a truck all in one, I would go with the Raptor personally. But if you're somebody who does a good amount of towing due to the ZR2's higher towing capacity and the fact that the suspension has less suspension travel, I would say go with the ZR2, because I'm imagining that it's going to have less squat when you hook a trailer up, and that diesel power, that torque, is definitely going to get you a far way when you're towing. And also, if you're somebody who doesn't really do an incredible amount of off-roading, like you don't need the Raptor's off-road capabilities to the max, but you kind of like having just an off-road package in general, I would say go with the ZR2 then. If you're somebody who is doing a lot of towing and you don't care about having that big personality and that big sports car, you know, kind of attention-grabbing look out on the road, this is a more subdued version of the Raptor, I would say, because it doesn't attract quite as much attention. So if you're looking for less attention out on the road, but really good towing capabilities, I would say go with the ZR2. But if you're looking for that big sports car, just cool appearance and that off-road prowess, then I would go with the Raptor. Lastly, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I wanted to give a big shout out to my friends here at Jessica Chevrolet for providing me the Silverado ZR2 Duramax to review for you guys. I really enjoyed driving the truck, and I hope that my conclusion is able to help you guys in the right direction if you are deciding between both trucks. This truck is still available. I'll have all the info down in the description on how to contact the dealer if you guys are interested. If you guys did enjoy the video, like the video now and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.